So over the weekend, Donald Trump was tweeting up a storm, and as is usually the case, that led to mass face palming around the country, at least from people who actually give a shit about fixing stuff. He plans on doing the opposite and making things much worse. So look at this. This is in regards to North Korea. You have to go from the bottom up here, because that's how it would be read. He didn't link it together, but he says, presidents and their administrations have been talking to North Korea for 25 years, agreements made, and massive amounts of money paid. Hasn't worked. Agreements violated before the ink was dry, making fools of U.S. negotiators. Sorry, but only one thing will work. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I know you guys might be sick of the segments where I come out here and say, no, seriously, there's over a 50% chance now of a war with North Korea. You might be sick of those segments, but the segments have to be done because there's a false sense of security that people have. And to some extent, if you look at people in mainstream media talking about this, there's a level of, a degree of, okay, sure, it's bad and he's escalating, but, something will work itself out and we'll be all right. And we've been having this dangerous dance back and forth with North Korea for years. But my whole point to everybody is things are not as stable as you think they are. They're just not. And now we have a situation where the President of the United States is publicly announcing or publicly proclaiming direct threats against a sovereign nation. How many times has he done it now? 4 times, 5 times, 6 times? He's said things like, we'll rain down fire and fury on North Korea. These are things that they usually say to us when they're doing their normal barking routine, where of course they can't back it up because they have a military in a country that's the size of a gnat, but they puff out their chest and try to act macho to say, please don't hurt us. But we actually have the ability to decimate their country. And Trump said stuff like, we're going to rain down fire and fury like they've never seen before. And then, honestly, it's like every other week now, he directly threatens North Korea via social media. And Adam Johnson of FAIR did a great piece on this where he exposed how in mainstream press outlets in the U.S., it doesn't matter what we say, it's always referred to as accidental. Like, oh, here we go, the well-intentioned giant, we are accidentally stumbling into war. And what these Trump tweets show is that, no, it's not accidental, it's not stumbling, he wants fucking war. He wants war because he's a narcissistic, thin-skinned, fake macho man buffoon who wants to, flex his muscle and see, mommy, I got a military, look what I can do. And also because neocons in the deep state are probably prodding him to do so, because the neocons have always wanted to do regime change in North Korea. They've always wanted to do it in Iran. So we're in a bad place, man. We're in a bad place. And I'm legitimately terrified. And I don't know exactly how to get that across to you guys in these segments, that I'm legitimately terrified that Donald Trump and his band of deep state neocons, as bad as it's already been, because he's already proven that he's a loose cannon, it can get worse, and it can be war with North Korea or Iran. I mean, there was somebody, I forget who it was, somebody in the New York Times wrote a piece like, it probably meant nothing when he said the other day, this represents the calm before the storm. Could you imagine having that opinion? Oh, it probably meant nothing. He's probably just trolling us. Yeah, because he never followed through with the other crazy shit beforehand, right? Like, he never randomly dropped the mother of all bombs on Afghanistan gratuitously. He didn't do that, right? He didn't pull out of the Paris Climate Agreement. One day, he wasn't just like, hey, let's just pull out of it. That's totally fine. He didn't approve that first military raid that he did as president, which was there was so flimsy evidence for it. Even Obama was like, no, we can't do that. But Trump approved the raid, and then a young American girl was killed in the raid. He didn't do that, right? He's proven every step of the way he is a loose cannon. But still, he goes out there and does some ominous, cryptic, this represents the calm before the storm comment to a room full of military leaders. And you got enough idiots who are like, oh, everything's fine. This is fine. It's like that cartoon that everybody uses. This is fine. Oh, so this is fine as the fucking house is on fire. This is not fine, man. And nobody's done a bigger 180 than Donald Trump in terms of some of the stuff he campaigned on and what he ends up doing. So I know I'm a broken record here, but he used to rail against Ted Cruz and Hillary Clinton for being sold out to Wall Street and specifically Goldman Sachs. Then he appoints multiple people from Goldman Sachs to his administration. He literally picked the president of Goldman Sachs to be in his administration, and he let them write his tax bill, his tax proposal, and then they even were the ones who presented it to the media. How bold is that? How brazen is that? His idea of an infrastructure project, privatize it and give it to Goldman Sachs. That's his idea of an infrastructure bill. Remember when half the time he said, we're going to get out of Afghanistan, we're going to get out of Iraq? Well, he's increased in those places. He's escalated in those places. And now here we go. He's saying only one thing will work. What is that one thing, Don? What is that one thing? You know it, I know it. He's talking about war. He's talking about doing an offensive military strike against a country that's not going to attack us. And for the life of me, at this point, I can't fathom how people out there don't understand that they wouldn't attack us ever unless they feel like we are literally about to pull the trigger on them. That's the only instance in which they would ever attack on South Korea or us. Because they know. They know. As crazy as the regime is, as brutal as they are to their own people, they know self-preservation comes first. And if they so much as sneeze in the direction of South Korea or sneeze in the direction of us, whether it be Guam or whatever places they can reach, they would be obliterated. So, but it looks like Donald Trump, they want to do some sort of offensive attack. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but you bet your ass he's got something up his sleeve. And it's going to be disastrous no matter what. Let's be as kind to Donald Trump as possible here and say that his plan is, I don't know, we're going to have SEAL Team 6 do some amazing shit that you'd see in an action movie, like a Liam Neeson action movie where, oh my God, they got in to Pyongyang and they just took out Kim Jong-un and then they were out of there in 5 minutes and nobody got killed. What do you think happens next? What do you think happens next? They likely launch against South Korea. And then furthermore, you have a nation that's in a hostage crisis, that's been in this hostage crisis for a long time. It's not like you take out the evil leader and then boom, everything's a smooth transition to a awesome democracy. That's not going to happen. So, you know, the population has been pumped full of this propaganda. This guy he doesn't shit. He was born under a double rainbow. You know, his dad had 11 holes in one the first time he played golf. This propaganda has been endless. So there's enough people in the country that believe this stuff that, you know, they view this as the ultimate sin. It's not like you take him out and all of a sudden there's dancing in the streets. This is a thoroughly brainwashed situation that we're talking about. Some people might be happy about it, but the overwhelming majority of people are going to say, they've been warning us this whole time that the great Satan, America, is going to come in here and kill our leader. And then what are you going to do? You're going to do a situation like Japan? You want to go in there and occupy North Korea for a significant amount of time and try to, you know, rebuild their economy from the ground up and then eventually pass their country off to them? And we're talking about billions, if not trillions of dollars of investment in a whole new project to take care of. Meanwhile, we can't even get fucking clean water in Flint, Michigan. So really, this is what we're going to do? But again, when you're dealing with the man baby who's got a fucking military at his disposal, this is the shit. He wants to do it. He can't wait to do it. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, but those pictures of Trump, remember when he's in the fire truck and the other truck and he's sitting there and he's got he's holding the wheel and he's got that face on like, yeah, Papa, yeah, look at me, I'm in the truck, yeah. That's Trump. That's Trump. He's got an actual truck. He feels like it's a Hot Wheels and he's a toddler. Well, it's the same shit with him in the military. You just like when you're a kid, you got the fucking little military figures and you attack each other with them and shit. That's Trump, but he's got a real military. And And you know what? And our last hope in the administration was Steve Bannon. I know that sounds crazy to say, but Steve Bannon, for all his flaws, and he has many, literally a white nationalist and neo-Nazi sympathizer and all that stuff. The one thing he was right on, well, there's two things he's right on. Protectionism, he doesn't want to outsource jobs. And foreign policy, he doesn't want to start all these unnecessary wars. So the things that he was right on, the person who was the only voice in that camp, gone now. So you got a room full of neocons, and you got Trump. And this is the stuff he's tweeting. On a daily basis, he's tweeting this. So this stuff was from the 7th. When was the 7th? Was that Friday night? Well, whenever the 7th was. But it's now the 9th, and he went on again this morning, right before I came on air, basically saying the same shit about North Korea. Only one thing will work. Only one thing. What am I going to do? Only one thing will work. It's not that I want to press the button and I want to go to war. It's that, he's making me. Oh, my God. Buckle up. Buckle up. You think it's bad now? It's going to get a lot worse.